My name is Susan Brown, and I am the founder and CEO of KidsCo, a nonprofit childcare organization that I founded in 1989. To provide some context with regard to recent times, KidsCo has been providing childcare for families and supporting remote learning for families and kids, and keeping as many of our staff employed as possible, even though the costs financially, emotionally, and physically have been significant. One thing we know with certainty is that the COVID-19 pandemic has laid bare the fact that without childcare, there is no economic recovery. And as mayor, I'm curious to know how you will prioritize childcare in the city's budget. Thank you.
Childcare is infrastructure. And without stable, reliable childcare, everything and everyone suffers, and women have largely borne the brunt of this reality, and that is unacceptable. There were times in my own life where I had to stop working because I could not afford the childcare. We need to ensure that we have quality childcare providers that fits the needs of our kids and families. This means having a diverse and resilient choices for families. We will work closely with the Biden administration to ensure that we leave no money on the table, not one penny when it comes to subsidizing childcare and programs to help train and recruit more childcare workers.
As mayor, childcare will be a top priority in my budget. I was the chair of the governor's task force on COVID economic recovery this summer and fall, and I heard from families across the state how hard it was to be able to continue working without childcare and how important childcare investments are. That is why I will be introducing my Fresh Starts for Family free universal childcare program, and it has 3 components. There will be a $600 match with the Biden administration's $600 match that is coming from the most recent stimulus program. There will be publicly funded facilities in every neighborhood throughout the city, as well as help for family home childcare. And finally, we will be doing a portable benefits program for childcare workers so that they also have the economic stability that every single working person deserves.
During 2020, at the height of the pandemic, one of the projects I was working on was actually expanding childcare in downtown Seattle, working with nonprofit providers, making sure that we're making it accessible. COVID showed us how critical childcare is. As we look at the Best Starts program from the county, I'm so supportive of that. That will open up 3,000 spots. As mayor, we're going to leverage that, and we're going to leverage any monies coming from the state to prioritize childcare. We will get creative looking at areas and brick and mortar facilities, and as creative as we can to make sure that people have access, and it's going to be critical to have that kind of access. I talked to a young lady who has to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning, and how are her childcare needs met. So we're going to be very creative on how we meet the critical needs of childcare.
It really comes down to our priorities, and as my now former employer, Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda, says, a budget is a moral document. It really shows what our priorities are as a city. And so for me, that means reducing police and putting that into public safety, which I believe childcare is a form of public safety. When you provide children spaces where they're able to grow and learn and be a part of a community, that is the kind of preventative care and harm reduction that we should be providing for everyone. And so I do recognize that as part of our long-term recovery and economic recovery, we need to be supporting families so that they are able to work and go back to doing their jobs while being able to take care of their children. That is how we recognize that families are an integral part of our city as we develop and grow.
As a parent, I know the cost of childcare is crushing for families. And over this past year during the pandemic, we saw too many families having to choose between staying in the workforce or staying home to take care of kids. And, I really believe that we can do something about that. So I have a plan actually to address childcare. Number one is we need to better align all of the current programs that exist at the federal level, the state level, county level, and city level to make sure that those resources and opportunities are getting to those families that qualify. The second is we need to expand city-funded childcare programs across the city and cap the cost at 7% of household income to make sure it is more affordable. And third, we need to create a program to incentivize employers to provide childcare as a benefit.